every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us on CoreTV Primetime News. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Our top stars. President Muhammadu Buhari meets with service chiefs for briefing on the ongoing war against Boko Haram terrorists. Court of Appeal adjourns indefinitely, ruling on the case brought by Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki against his trial at the Court of Conduct Tribunal. The People's Democratic Party says the President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Ena Bokachua, is interfering in election petition tribunals. Outside Nigeria, 29-year-old Eritrean asylum seeker mistaken for Palestinian shot dead by Israeli security forces. We begin tonight in Abuja, where President Muhammadu Buhari met with service chiefs in order to overcome weather and logistic challenges hampering the ongoing campaign against Boko Haram. This is in furtherance of achieving the set objectives of the government to crush the sect before the year runs out. The Chief of Defense Staff, Gabriel Abayomi Olonishaki, and the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Defense, Aliyu Smaila, spoke with State House correspondents at the end of the closed-door meeting at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The CDS said the chiefs briefed the president on the security situation on ground after a 60-day review, adding that it's NAMA consultations that it's to ensure that the military delivers on its mandate. It's more than 2 months to Christmas celebrations, but the police authorities have decided to issue an early warning on fireworks and firecrackers. Police spokesman Olabisi Kolawole said in a statement that the ban on fireworks, as also known as knockout in local parlance, is still in force. She said the warning becomes necessary because of indications that some Nigerians have started using fireworks and firecrackers in anticipation of the Utah celebrations. The police maintained that the present security situation, especially recent bomb attacks, does not give room for fireworks in any part of the country. It added that hoodlums have also been using fireworks to confuse Nigerians in order to carry out their nefarious activities. The Court of Appeal has adjourned indefinitely the judgment on the appeal filed by Senate President Bukola Saraki against his arraignment at the Court of Conduct Tribunal. Saraki is asking the appeal court to nullify the proceedings of the tribunal and to also set aside the criminal charges filed against him by the federal government on account of being illegal and unlawful. The appellant counsel, Kehinde Eleja, who spoke to journalists, said the court will notify counsel to the parties in the suit when the judgment is ready.
Heard is that the judgment is not ready and that the court will advise all counsel involved when the judgment is ready.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, earlier today quizzed ex-governor of Kebbi State, Saidu Dankingari, over alleged mismanagement of 3.8 billion naira. As at 5:24 p.m., the former governor, who was invited by the EFCC, was still at the operations department of the anti-graft agency. The EFCC had earlier agreed ex-First Lady of Kebbi State, Hajiya Zainab Dankigari, the daughter of late President Umar Yar'Adua, and the chairman of the Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Haliru Bello Mohammed, over alleged 2 billion naira contracts and money laundering in the state. Newsmen gathered that the invitation of the ex-governor followed a petition on non-execution of some contracts in Kebbi when he was in charge. The head of media and publicity of EFCC, Wilson Uwajaran, confirmed the invitation of Dankigari, but did not give details on why the ex-governor was invited by the commission. Meanwhile, the EFCC chairman Ibrahim Lamode on Monday said the agency does not obtain statements from suspects under duress. He said the state-of-the-art recording facilities in the EFCC interrogation rooms would not allow any investigator to humiliate a suspect. He, however, pleaded with Western nations to reject and return stolen funds. Lamode, who gave the clarifications during a visit by 2 officials of Amnesty International, said that the corruption is the worst form of human rights abuse. He urged Western countries to continue to reject and return stolen funds. Lamode, who made the clarifications, also says that it's important that all join hands together to fight corruption. The Senate will tomorrow receive the report on the petition filed against the nomination of former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi for cabinet position. Now, this is because the committee that considered the petition has concluded its work and is prepared to turn in its report. Chairman of the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privilege and Public Petition, Samuel Ayawo, disclosed this after a committee session at the National Assembly Complex. He disclosed that the panel also considered a petition against Aisha Abubakar, the minister and nominee from Sokoto.
As a matter of fact, this 8th Senate is a very responsible Senate, and our interest, devoid of political sentiment and persuasions, our interest is to move this country forward. We want to join hands with Mr. President to ensure that Nigerian citizens will be able to get the evidence of democracy, because they actually voted for the new party, and all we have to do, like I always said, the party is always a vehicle that will get you to a destination. And all you need to do is to discharge your responsibility to the best of your ability and capability. Having said that, we are sure, and also want to know that this committee is not a court of law. This is a fact-finding committee. Our interest is to investigate every petition that comes to this commission and give it and treat it according to its merit. So anybody in Nigeria is free to bring petitions, but we also look at the merit of such petitions. Right now, we cannot decide anything, and we have not decided anything until the report of this committee comes out. So we cannot tell you that they did.
Corruption is believed by many to be the root cause of most challenges facing different sectors of the Nigerian economy, even as the number of politicians questioned by anti-corruption agencies are on the increase. In this report, our correspondent Netu Levery explored possible solutions to the menace of corruption in Nigeria.
The corruption ranking of Nigeria by the Transparency International Index has over the years worsened the image of the country in the eyes of the world. A situation that has not only worsened international relations, but also the perception of Nigerians in the diaspora. Reacting to the challenge, a legal practitioner is of the opinion that public officers should be questioned while in and out of office, which will serve as caution for them in management of public funds.
The only thing we can make out of it is a word of caution that public officers should know that their activities will be called to question once they leave office. And then we cannot even wait until they leave office. Nigerians should begin to ask questions even while the fellow is still in office, so that possible incidences of corruption can be stemmed in the bud. For the ones that have been concluded, corruption cases that have been concluded, unfortunately, not many of them in Nigerian environment, which is an indictment on our system, that there are so many obvious corruptions flying around in the air, but there are very few convictions that we're able to achieve.
The school of thought that Nigeria requires a scapegoat in the fight against corruption is fast becoming a matter of national discourse. An advocate of that thought and a public analyst says the fight against corruption should begin with those in leadership positions in the country, as this will serve as a guide to tackling the societal ill.
And to fight corruption in Nigeria, first of all, it has to start with the government. I mean, when I say government, I mean people in position of leadership. Because when you see, like the Yorubas will say, that when you see like a group of horses, when they are running, it is one that is in the front that will determine the speed of the ones at the back. And then usually we always talk about role models. And that is what government, the role government should be playing. Because when you look at people in government, it is what they do that Nigerians will want to copy. People that are seen to be living above their means should be seen as an outcast. They should not be celebrated. Unfortunately, when you hear stories in Nigeria today, especially when somebody is accused of being corrupt, you see some people from...
The People's Democratic Party has accused the office of the President of the Court of Appeal, Zainab Bokachua, of undue interference in ongoing election petition cases. According to the party, reports emanating from Justice Bokachua's office indicated that there were moves to sway judgments against PDP candidates at the various election petition tribunals and other judicial cases. In a statement issued by PDP's National Publicity Secretary, Olisa Metu, the party cautioned against attempts to detract from the sanctity of the judiciary just to favor the ruling All Progressives Congress candidates. We'll take a break now, and I'll be back with more stories. Don't go away.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trade looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. They don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute. I said to hell.
On Core Digest.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody have the right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and nudity.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to our husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Also, some people will stand for Yoruba land, will be strong man. We don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
If you just joined us, you're on to CoreTV Primetime News. Our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari meets with service chiefs for briefing on the ongoing war against Boko Haram. Court of Appeal adjourns indefinitely ruling on the case brought by Senate President Bukola Saraki against Australia by the Code of Conduct Tribunal. The People's Democratic Party says the President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Zainab Bokachua, is interfering in election petition tribunals. You can get all of the top stories on any of our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. Our Twitter handle is at CoreTV News NG. When we stream live on YouTube, it's youtube.com/CoreTV, _and news. The All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, Anambra chapter, has rejected the Election Petitions Tribunal judgment involving its candidates in the last general elections in the state. Tony Ifeanyi, APGA secretary in the state, speaking at the news conference in Oka, says the party will contest the judgment at the appeal court, adding that the party is dissatisfied with the judgment. Ifeanyi claimed that the party won all the National Assembly elections on March 28, adding that it has resolved to seek redress at the appeal court. Tribunal judgments in the state on cases arising from the last general elections was only in favor of Dozie Nwako, who won his tribunal case against PDP's Nnamdi Eze for Anuocha Dunokofia in Jikoga Federal Constituency. Other candidates of APGA, including Victor Ume, who contested Anambra Central Senatorial District, all lost at the tribunal. The Joint Account Allocation Committee of the FCT has distributed 1.5 billion naira to the 6 area councils of the Federal Capital Territory, being monies accruing to them from the Federation account. FCT Permanent Secretary John Chuku, who disclosed this on Monday, said the meeting was sequel to an earlier one by the Federation Account Allocation Committee on September 22, 2015. According to him, the sum comprises associated revenue allocation and exchange rate gains in August, totaling to 1,501,176,445 naira. The permanent secretary revealed that Abuja Municipal Area Council received the highest of the share. Students of the Lagos State University have put together a conference that says aimed at empowering the youths to be agents of positive change. Correspondent Nato Levery was there.
With the oft-repeated saying, the youths are the leaders of tomorrow. At the back of their minds, members of the executives of the Lagos State University Student Union have put together a forum tagged the role of Nigerian youths as proponents of positive change. Speaking at the forum, Planning Committee Chairman says the leadership of the union wants ideas that will move the nation forward.
Change actually starts from very small things. Small things that will become the big things that we seek. So I believe that we are starting with our young hands and are trying to be the change that we seek in our nation, in our environment.
This year we are at our third year. It's an initiative of the Students' Union executive members domiciled at the
Neofield Esin has been appointed the new Vice Chancellor of the University of Uyo, according to a statement issued by the university and signed by the Registrar Edak Umodag. The statement, made available in Uyo on Monday, noted that the appointment would take effect in December. It stated that Esin is a professor of commercial law, a two-time dean, Faculty of Law, and chairman, Committee of Deans, Uni Uyo. SCN is taking over from Comfort Ekpo, who is completing a 5-year tenure as Vice Chancellor, University of Uyo, at the end of November 2015. It added that the emergence of SCN followed a painstaking, thorough and uncompromising transparent process and urged the university community to give him the support he requires to succeed. 2 structural engineers indicted in the 6-story Synagogue Church of All Nations building collapse have urged the Federal High Court in Lagos to dismiss a preliminary objection to their suit by the Lagos State government. The engineers Oladele Ogundeji and Akimbela Fatiregon are praying the court to quash a district coroner's verdict which found them culpable after an inquest. They filed separate suits against the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, the State Attorney General, and the district coroner. The engineer's lawyer, Olale Konjo, says the coroner's verdict cannot be a basis for arresting, investigating, or prosecuting his clients. The continuous lopsided developmental plans of various administrations in Plateau State has begun to attract criticism of residents of the state capital. Residents say they have come to resort to self-help in providing social amenities for their comfort and survival in the state. Correspondent in Plateau State has details in this report.
Lack of the needed social amenities in just the capital city of Plateau State has become unbearable to the residents. Some in the capital city accused the past and present administrations of concentrating developmental activities only in places where their people are residing, or where they have properties. For these residents, their destinies in their hands as waiting for government, according to them, will be a wait forever.
Our roads have been so bad, so we gathered as a community to effect some repairs on the road because the roads have been so terrible. So we initially we encountered problems, but when they saw that, we have started, the road repairs. So a lot of them are cooperating now.
Definitely the community has decided to be out doing it itself because we believe that we need to partner or to join hands with government. And we're more or less, let's say, complementing what government is doing. We're hoping that out of this, government will see our sincerity and our genuineness in the cause, and hopefully they might come to our rescue.
Others say the situation is now precarious due to the rainy season that makes certain areas inaccessible whenever there is a heavy downpour.
The situation here is very pathetic. We've been suffering here for year in, year out, especially when there's rainy season. It's very hard for motorists to ply this road.
Hanyar kangar riga kenan, dan ni wajen aiki na ne wannan layin. Kullum ina shiga, amma gaskiya in dai na shiga bana jin daɗin.
Residents in Tudunwada, Guabukore, some parts of Rayfield, and
The Consumer Protection Council is set to launch a nationwide sensitization campaign and enforcement activities against smuggled poultry products in Nigeria. CPC Director General Dukwe Atoki disclosed this today at a meeting with members of Poultry Association of Nigeria at the council headquarters in Abuja. She revealed that the three-pronged approach included the sensitizing consumers on the dangers of consuming the products, remover from the shelves, and collaborating with relevant stakeholders. She pointed out that the Monday meeting is part of the strategies at forging necessary collaborations with the stakeholders, while noting that further engagements with relevant federal ministries and the Customs Service have been mapped out. As part of continuing efforts aimed at promoting arts and artists, the Imo State Arts Exhibition 2015 has been held in Owerri, the state capital. Ajibade Professor, who was at the exhibition, filed in the report presented from our studios.
Ongoing in Owerri, capital of Imo State, is the Imo Art Week 2015. And this year's theme is Art Light in Imo.
These works on display are a testament to the beauty of the work of the Nigerian artists, and this is one factor that has succeeded in bringing people to the exhibition and follow the message of the works.
Wow, this is so beautiful. You can see that the beauty of art nature cannot be overemphasized. You can see the combination we have in here.
The works from portraits of noblemen, paintworks, combination of animals like lion and the lamb, and peaceful coexistence all have inbuilt messages.
Artists from various parts of the country are in Imo State, Owerri, displaying diverse artwork. And most of them, we're going to be meeting them to explain to us what they're trying to project with each of their artwork.
Still works, both brown.
You're watching CoreTV Primetime News. Business is next after this break.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
On business tonight, the Senate has asked the Stallion Group to return to government coffers about 44 billion naira import duty allegedly owed by the company for rice importation. Chairman of the ADA Committee on Import Duty Waivers, Senator Adamu Alero, said at the meeting with the officials of the company that the federal government cannot afford to lose the money. Senator Alero noted that the committee is working with Nigerian Customs Service to ensure that all monies on import duty are duly paid into the Federation account.
treasury single account. Just ensure that there is transparency and accountability in all what the government is doing. And this is even in line with Section 162 of the Nigerian Constitution. All monies collected should be deposited into the Federation account. We are concerned because we were told that over 44 billion naira import duty is outstanding against your companies. And there is no way the government will ignore this huge amount, coupled with the fact that the revenue from oil is falling every day. No government will ignore this kind of money. So the essence of this committee is to complement the effort of the Nigerian Customs Service to ensure that this money is collected and deposited into the Federation account.
Rice is a commodity which has a shelf life. Based on our miller status, we imported the products on 30% and we sold the products based on that costing what we did. We paid the duty exactly as it was supposed to be paid at that point of time. But 7-8 months down the line, somebody comes and says that, no, the duty what you paid is not supposed to be 30%, and it's 70% of a product which is already sold, consumed, taken away from us. That's, we don't go retrospective. If there is a quota, which I don't see in the approval of the letter, it should have been from there on and thereafter.
The Director General Debt Management Office, Abraham Owankwo, has disclosed that Nigeria's external debt profile has risen to $11 billion as of last week, as against the $9.4 billion recorded in March. Similarly, domestic debt profile has also risen to 11 trillion naira. Owankwo disclosed this in an interview with journalists in Kaduna on Friday, shortly after declaring open a one-day enlightenment workshop with leaders of students' unions from tertiary institutions. Owankwo, however, says the quantum of the debt did not really matter, adding that the most important thing is how the resources were deployed to encourage economic growth, development, generate employment, and reduce poverty. He noted that the current global economic problems, particularly the collapse of oil prices, are having a significant impact on economies all over the world. Owankwo commended the federal government and the Central Bank of Nigeria for maintaining a healthy reserve and for stabilizing the exchange rate in spite of the shock occasioned by the drastic drop in oil revenue. Meanwhile, a new World Bank report has put Africa's poverty rate at 43% compared to a previous figure of 56%. The World Bank Vice President, Africa Region, Makta Diop, disclosed this during a video conference on End Poverty Day over the weekend, adding that poverty has been going down in Africa significantly. He said the report represented the most recent poverty data available and seeks to highlight the need to know the determinants of poverty in Africa. He, however, said much of the progress in poverty reduction came from the non-income dimension of poverty, which witnessed improvement in literacy and child mortality rates, as well as increase in life expectancy in the continent. The Vice President further noted that the new figures are still a far cry compared to what is obtainable in other developing world. He said poverty eradication should not be limited to the Millennium Development Goals or Sustainable Development Goals, but seen as foremost demand from the people of Africa. The Nigeria Customs Service has vowed to strengthen its partnership with the Standards Organization of Nigeria (SON) to help combat the preponderance of fake and substandard goods in the country. The Controller General NCS, Ahmed Ali, disclosed this during a courtesy visit to SON, adding that his visit is to strengthen the synergy already existing between the two agencies, pointing out that SON is one of the key government apparatus to drive economic growth and development. According to him, the expertise is to determine if a good is wholesome for consumption is rested with SON. maintaining that the customs will strengthen its support to CERN to ensure that what comes into the country meets the minimum requirements of the Nigeria Industrial Standards, NIS. Earlier in his welcome address, the Director General CERN, Joseph Odumadu, explained that within 6 months, Nigerians will see a drastic reduction in the level of substandard products in the country. Stories outside Nigeria next after this time out. Do join us again.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome back. Israeli police say an Eritrean man has died after he was shot and beaten by a mob when he was mistaken for an attacker during a raid in southern Israel. The attack happened on Sunday night at the bus station in the city of Beersheba, where about 10 other people were injured. The Palestinian attacker was killed while a security guard shot the Eritrean bystander, identified as Afton Zarub, 29-year-old, thinking he was an accomplice of the assailant. Israeli police spokesman Mickey Rosenfeld confirmed Zarub was misidentified. Rosenfeld said the Palestinian attacker stabbed a soldier and stole his M16 rifle, opening fire on the crowd at the bus terminal. The soldier died in hospital. The attacker was named by police as Mohad Al-Lukabi, 21, a resident of Hura in Negev. Thousands of migrants have been stranded at borders in the Balkans in cold and wet conditions as the path to Western Europe is blocked. Several hundred, including young children and babies, spent the night in the open at Croatia's border with Slovenia. The UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, also complained of a lack of basic supplies at the Serbia-Croatia border. The Western Balkan route has been disrupted by government restrictions. Hundreds of thousands of migrants, many from Syria, Africa and Afghanistan, have been making their way from Turkey to the Balkans in recent months in the bid to reach Germany, Sweden and other EU states. A Syrian activist says at least 70,000 Syrians have fled a government offensive in rebel-held areas south of the city of Aleppo in the past 3 days. Zaidan al-Zalbi, head of the Union of Syrian Medical Relief Organizations, disclosed that several villages he had visited were empty. The government offensive is the latest of at least 4 launched with Russian air support in the past 2 weeks. Aside from the Aleppo countryside, they are taking place in mostly rural areas north of the cities of Homs and Hama and in the rugged northern parts of Latakia province along the coast. The Maldives top court has overturned the sentence of death by stoning issued to a woman found guilty of adultery. The woman, who reportedly gave birth out of wedlock, was convicted by a magistrate court on Sunday. The island nation has previously issued flogging sentences to those convicted of extramarital sex. Report added that the sentence to death by stoning was unprecedented in the country, which is known as a luxury tourist destination. Extramarital sex is illegal in the Maldives, although the ban does not apply to tourists. And now to sport.
Our style, that's what he delivered. Usain Bolt storming, Puyol with a flying lead.
Go, taking them out in the lead and really.
Leeds United chairman Massimo Salino has confirmed Steve Evans will replace sacked head coach Uwe Rosler. The Italian disclosed that former Rotherham boss Evans, who took training at the Championship club's Thub Arc training ground on Monday, will sign a rolling contract. Rosler, who's 46 years old, was sacked on Monday after just 12 games in charge. Evans, 52, will be Leeds' 6th head coach since Salino took over the club in April 2014. Leicester City's informed striker Jamie Vardy says his goal-scoring exploits will be meaningless if the Foxes are failing to pick up points. Leicester were 2 goals down to Southampton on Saturday, but the England international backed the brace in the final 25 minutes to ensure the Premier League encounter ended in a 2-2 draw. Vardy has taken the league by storm this season and leads the goal-scoring charts with 9 goals from as many games. Leicester City have benefited from the emergence of the 28-year-old forward as they sit 5th in the table on 16 points despite failing to keep a clean sheet all season. Michel Platini still wants to succeed Sepp Blatter as FIFA president despite serving a 90-day ban while corruption claims are investigated. UEFA boss Platini suspended as FIFA studies reports received a 1.35 million payment from Blatter in 2011. The 60-year-old told French newspaper Le Monde he had done nothing wrong and certainly still wants to stand in the FIFA presidential election in February. In June, Blatter announced he will leave his position at the head of world football, though he is also serving a 90-day ban, but also denies any wrongdoing. Platini, who has been president of European football's UEFA since 2007, was tipped to replace the 79-year-old Swiss and still believes he will have enough support to do so. Aston Villa manager Tim Sherwood has slammed his team's boring style of play and urged them to express themselves more on the pitch. Villa had failed to win since beating promoted Bournemouth on the opening weekend and are second from bottom in the Premier League following a run of 7 defeats in 8 matches. And of course, no team has lost more league games than Sherwood's men, and the pressure is mounting on the former Tottenham Hotspur's boss. Prior to Saturday's 2-0 loss was struggling Chelsea. Of course, there were reports that Sherwood's job was under threat after the club's American owner, Rand Lehner, To end CoreTV Primetime News tonight, a recap of our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari met with service chiefs earlier today to discuss progress on the ongoing war against Boko Haram. Court of Appeal suspends indefinitely the case Senate President brought to it as regards the jurisdiction of the Code of Conduct Tribunal. People's Democratic Party cries foul from the leadership of the judiciary as regards results coming in from the tribunals. On behalf of everyone here, it's good night. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Thank you for watching.